Hey everybody, welcome to INFT 124. My name is Steve Pelton and I'm going to be your instructor this term. So, a lot of you are probably asking already, why am I taking a class called Computing Skills? I don't really care that much about computers. I want to be a police officer, I want to be a social worker, I want to work as a paralegal or something like that. You're going to find very quickly, though, that a class like this is foundational. It's on which everything else is built going forward, okay? So what you learn here is going to give you a really great base of understanding for everything else you're going to be learning about and doing in subsequent terms, no matter what your major is. So what are some of the things we're going to be talking about? Well, computing skills ends up being a rather broad subject. So we will talk about things like hardware and software. We'll talk about specific kinds of software, specifically Microsoft Office. And this is going to be something that we spend a lot of time doing, okay? This is things like Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, OneDrive, all are kind of under this one umbrella of Microsoft Office. So we're going to spend a lot of time talking about that. We're going to talk about the internet and web. We're going to talk about information literacy. Basically, how do we determine what information that we find is reliable and believable? So there's a lot of things we're going to be covering, and plenty more too. We're going to have a lot of interesting conversations and discussion. So again, you're going to find very quickly that a class like this is foundational. It's going to be so helpful for everything that you're going to be doing going forward. Again, it doesn't really even matter what your degree is. So I hope you get excited because there are a lot of interesting things and some really kind of fun, maybe entertaining things that we're going to be doing along the way. So, for most of you, this is the first class you've taken, or this is your first term in college. What do you need to know, basically, about a class like this, or how these kinds of classes go? First and foremost, I want to say this. Always reach out to me if you have any questions. I do the best I can to be as available as possible to my students. So when you go into Blackboard, when you go into that Welcome Start Here tab over on the left-hand side in Blackboard, when you get into our class, you're going to find my contact information. You're going to be able to contact me by text, by phone, email, and even Microsoft Teams. If you don't know much about Microsoft Teams yet, don't worry. You'll have plenty of opportunities to get to use Microsoft Teams. It's another thing that you have access to as a student here at Bryan Stratton. And trust me, Microsoft Teams is great if you want to reach out to me. It's a wonderful tool. So reach out if you have any questions at all. So I usually give a couple of tips as well, beyond just that, for my students when it comes to success, not just in a class like this, but in pretty much any online class. And so they really are this, is you want to show up to class. You want to actually be present, okay? It's easy to kind of say that. It's something else entirely to do it. So you want to get into class, minimum 3 days a week, doing work, getting in discussion, working on your assignments, that kind of thing. So being present is key. And then doing your work and doing it on time. This can be a little tougher, okay? Because I know a lot of you are juggling a lot of balls in the air, right? You've got your schoolwork here, you've got your job here, you've got family obligations, you've got kids starting school, right? There's a lot going on right now. But you want to make sure you're working hard to get your work in on time so you're not losing points because things are late. So you want to be present, you want to make sure you do all your work and do it on time, and then you want to just put forth some effort. Again, this is another one of those things that's easy to say, sometimes harder to do. Sometimes you want to just get into the kind of the motions of just getting an assignment done and just getting it submitted and just saying, forget it, I'm done, let's move on. Putting forth a little effort is going to help in the learning process, and it's definitely going to help with your grades, okay? I can tell when students are putting forth that effort. I've been doing this long enough. So just do the best you can. You're not going to be perfect at everything. You're going to have lots of questions. You may be really concerned or confused about something, but put forth the best effort you can. And again, going back to one of my earlier points, if you have questions, reach out to me, okay? Even on the weekends, even at night, reach out to me. I'd be happy to help. So that's a little bit about the class. There's going to be plenty more that's going to be revealed to you in the coming days and weeks. Hopefully it's all going to be good. Hopefully you all get really excited. I'm excited. This is always an exciting time of the year, is when students just get started. But again, if things come up, even in these first days, let me know, okay? I don't know if you're struggling or if you're worried about something unless you reach out to me first. So please do that, and we'll see where the term takes us. Thanks, folks.